I've talked about this before, but I just want to kind of expand on my whole spiel about please don't overshare when you deal with human resources. There's a lot of different things that go wrong when um, young people apply to jobs. And I'll tell you why all of these are, well, there's just a few examples, but I'll tell you why they're just really, really bad for you, right? Some people like to mention HR that, like, this is my dream company, really want to work for this company. I've been keeping an eye on this company and all this stuff. It sounds flattering. It sounds like you are loyal. It sounds like you're invested in the company and its success. And all of that is great in theory. But all your recruiter hears is that this guy really wants to be here. We can give him, lowball him and he'll accept the offer because he likes to be here. You understand? Companies take advantage of people who are passionate about something. That's why social workers and teachers are underpaid because they know that, well, they'll make concessions because they love this field, right? Which is a problem. I hate it. I disagree with it entirely. Um, but that's what it is, and it's no different than you. If you tell a company, "Oh, I love this place. I want to work for this place," I have your sweatshirts, like that's all they hear is bling, bling, bling. Like, we can save so much money on this kid because they're so wide-eyed and they're desperate to work here, right? So don't ever mention any. You're not building a relationship, right? If you tell them this, that it doesn't help you in any way. Okay, you can be aware of the company, have some idea of their products, their services, their existence, but don't be like, yeah, follow your Twitter, I have your merchandise, I use all of your stuff. No, no, none of that, right? I just like to know enough about the company that if they ask me, do you know what the company does? I have some intelligent answer. Okay, that's it. Another thing, please don't ever tell them who you're interviewing with. Some companies like to ask you, and for whatever reason, people just like to tell them that I'm interviewing at here and here and here. No, you don't do that. Okay. Um, if you're interviewing at other companies, just mention, yeah, I'm interviewing at other companies. And if you're not interviewing at other companies, guess what? You're interviewing at other companies. Do not ever admit that you're not interviewing anywhere else. They'll tell you some line like, "Oh, hey, let me know if you're interviewing anywhere else, so that I can kind of tell them to rush it or something like that." Um, you know, they're kind of fishing for an answer by mentioning this to you. Like, you might not have brought it up, and they might not ask you, right? You'll just be talking. They'll be like, "Hey, by the way, just let me know if you're interviewing anywhere else, just so I can let them know to move up the timeline." No one, at least in the departments I've been in, no one is telling anyone to rush it. If you tell them, yeah, I'm interviewing other places, what ends up happening is then they go like, okay, this guy has some value because they're interviewing other places, right? And not that they don't rush or anything, but now they have some idea that there is some value here. And if you go the other way and you tell them, oh, I'm not interviewing anywhere else, guess what? They hear, okay, this guy maybe isn't the commodity we thought he was, because if so, he he would be interviewing other places. Like, why doesn't anyone else want him? So don't ever give the name of the companies, and don't ever mention I'm only interviewing here. Right? Tell them I'm interviewing other places. They won't really move quickly as a result, but at least it'll really help give you some credibility that what you are valuable, because other companies, even if they were made up, are interested in you. I have seen sometimes though where mentioning multiple companies has blown up in someone's face. So I was at an office where, and this is something that was relayed to me by someone who, sort of, this is like secondhand information, but basically, there were two people who were, on the line for the job, and one of them, and this is a very unique situation. One of them did mention HR that he was only interviewing at that company. The other one mentioned that he was interviewing at a bunch of companies. So HR was like, you know what, we're not going to go with that guy, only because um, the manager felt a little sad. He's like, you know what, let me go with the guy who doesn't have any of the options, right? The guy with options, he has other options, whatever. Turns out the guy did lie though. He called the office, and he mentioned, oh, I'm a little bit further behind, right? The funnel with those other enterprises. I made it to the last round with you guys, um, but I'm still early in the process with the others. And it was just some line. I think he had kind of changed his tune. I mean, what it sounded like when he talked to HR before, he made it sound like he had offers in his hand, and then suddenly became, oh, he has interviews. So I think maybe he fibbed a little bit. So in this scenario, by telling the company that he was, the candidate who got the job, by telling them, oh, I'm only interviewing here, they decided to give it to him. And the guy who's interviewing at all these other places, they're like, you know what, he'll do fine then, right? Like he'll land on his feet. But that said, that's a very minority story over there. For the most part, I urge you, don't ever tell a company I'm only interviewing with you, because they will never think, oh, he only applied here. They'll think that's weird, like nobody else likes him, and it's a very company mentality way of thinking of people, right? They always think of it in just terms of value, right? In terms of dollars and whatnot. So yeah, just keep that to yourself. Um, if they ask you stuff like, oh, why are you leaving or something like that, never. Oh, I just tell them the truth that look, I'm not leaving, right? I'm staying here until I get a firm offer, and I always say firm offer, and I'll tell you why. Some companies make a tentative offer, and then they'll say, hey, so you said you would join us like within 2 weeks of a offer. No, 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 no. Even with a tentative offer, it takes like a few weeks to get onboarded and training and background check and all that. Always tell them you want the final offer or firm offer if you want to join them. Never join just because of an offer, because like I've seen offers that are rescinded even after being sent out like within a day or two, sometimes a week, sometimes during the background check process before they even finish the process. Like they don't even know what the guy's background check is gonna have, but they just decide randomly like, oh, you know what, this job is being eliminated. Like it wasn't necessary enough, or oh, we're gonna change gears, stuff like that. So yeah, that's another thing is just don't ever leave your current job until you actually have like a firm offer. Truthfully, I tell people you don't have a job until you have the job, right? What that means is until you have been shown your office and they have walked you to your desk and you have logged into your work computer, you do not have a job. I don't care if you have the badge. Until you have actually logged into the computer and it's all official and you got the email, you don't have a job. If you get a job, right, if you have the firm offer, what I like to do is I like to take like a week or two vacation, some PTO, start my new job, and if I like it, then use it the rest of my PTO and tell my old company, hey, I'm gonna peace out. Bye. And that's how it is.